Unfortunately today we are down a driver, which is why we were late, as we were looking all over the Midwest F1 League for a backup for someone to fill in, and unfortunately we were not able to collect someone. Actually, we had to find two, and we're only able to find one, as our Lord and Savior Porkchops, the man who signs my checks, as he so gratefully likes to remind me, is filling in tonight for the McLaren, or for the Mercedes, sorry. And he is a wheel driver, but today he says that he's going to be ripping it on the controller, so we'll see how that goes. Now, him known to be not a very good qualifier, I'm sure it's going to go even worse today. Sorry, dude, with the controller. But hopefully, we'll see ourselves a nice, high-quality race as we're starting to get people trickle in here. As when this thing gets going, we get right into it. As we have the qualifier, then we got the race, and then we got about a 5-minute break while Static Hazard loads up the lobby for the reverse grid, and then we are right into it. Yes, here we are. We're right into it. The Suitman in his first race this F2 season, as he is known to have some pace, but unfortunately goes wide here. As you see up on the left side of the screen there, we got Mebe, or Meeb, I'm not sure how it's supposed to be pronounced, I need to look into that, is up in first, and then Stat found himself up there for a moment, but now is trickling down the list as he goes back up. And Mebe still holds top spot there, as Kitlink is right on him, as we expect those two to be some very quick drivers. As Smokemon also has very good pace, same with Yolmir. And it looks like the best pawns crashed out early. I didn't catch that. As it still seems to be holding what it was, as we still have maybe up on top, as ZGS also crashes out here, or retires from the session, as he's going to find himself down in 18th. Best Pawns will find himself on the very back row by himself, as like I said before, we are only able to do 19 drivers tonight, not 20. As we had a couple of guys back out here, as Stat and Cam seem to be jostling for position a little bit. Same with OG Northern and El Magico, but it seems that Mebe or Meeb will get pull here, as only two racers find themselves in the 28s, one in the 29, and several in the 30s, and then quite a few in the 31s and 32s. I'm really looking forward to this track here, actually. I'm actually a big fan of this track. I find it has a very good flow to it through all sectors, with Sector 2 having that long straight stretch into that chicane into turn 8 and 9. I think that's one of the more favorable passing zones, but I preferably also like to use turn 3 into 4 as a passing zone, because even if they block the inside going on turn 3, you will get the inside going into turn 4, and you can really shove them out wide there, and should be able to take that cut into turn 5. And going through turn 1 and 2 into that is a decent enough length to be able to shoot that spot. But like I said before, I don't think I mentioned it before, I'm beside myself tonight, as the guy who was supposed to be joining me today, Tim Lee, has found himself in the race covering, and I was not able to acquire anyone, just like how we weren't able to acquire anyone to race with. As we do have a rain. Ooh, this is going to be exciting. Rain, rain, rain. getting a little problems with my Wi-Fi here, so I'm gonna have to follow it with my phone as we got 5 red lights here. Sorry, I don't know why I'm complaining about my connection here, but I'm good for this race as everyone is on the intermediates and Meeb seems to get off pretty well. There seems to be some jumbling in the back there. Oh, gets very slippery. No one seems to actually. Yes, there does seem to be some crashes. Sabino didn't seem to get off there as we'll jump on board as Yolmir gets pushed out wide by Meeb. I'm need to figure out what I'm going to say. Kitlink has found himself into first. Seems that Static Hazard has crashed out and fall himself way down the order. Same with Yolmir. As we have a little bit of jostling around here as we do get a yellow flag as Sabino unfortunately will get an early disqualification as he never really got off from the line there. But rain just makes the race so pedestrian and you need to be so very careful as it looks like OG Northerner did spin out. Unfortunately, Static Hazard runs extremely wide. As early on we see a lot of movement around here as there's some pushing and shoving up above as Stat finds himself right in behind his teammate here and he looks like he's got the better run. There he goes. I get my bearing set up here, sorry. Everything seems to have separated now as Meeb finds himself down into third. Kitlink moves up a spot as the Smoke Man. And Static Hazard is on the outside here of Pork Chops. As it will turn at the inside and he does have the better traction. He will find himself back into 10th place after an early crash. And it seems like we've got Monkey Mafia, yeah, going way wide. As Stat opts into the pits. Meeb's getting really close, takes a peek on the inside of Sabino Mirror, but won't be able to fully pursue. And Stat finds himself dropping all the way down as he did receive some wing damage. Cam, who is a tier 1 driver and one of the better ones at that, is all the way down in 18th after an early crash. 13 positions back of where his qualifying was. See, Best Pawns dropped down a little bit. I imagine he went off wide and is passed by Yolmir, as Yolmir is now right on the back of Pork Chops. The Smoke Bomb picks up a 3 second and Pork Chops gets really loose. It is very slippery. As Pork Chops finds himself going off. Overtake button has been used by Yolmir here, as he will take a look at the inside here. Now it's up to who can break the latest and have the cleanest line as Yolmir takes a little bit of cut, but Porkchop stays right with him. Gets back on that inside line, but unfortunately Yolmir will get it, but gets a little bit of slip. Now Porkchop's running way wide. We'll have the inside line into this very long turn here into turn 10. But Porkchop seems to have backed out and will find himself dipping in behind Yolmir. As finds himself going wide again with jumping on board with Meeb as Porkchops ended up losing a position to Best Pawns there as soon as they jumped off, as Porkchops is having some troubles getting some grip as he does lose another position to Kaz with Kitlink picking up fastest lap. Meeb right on the back of Smokemon as he will take the inside lane, keeping fairly clean and forcing Smokemon into what was that little pylon, sending that thing for a little trip. As Meeb finds himself in a second, I'm now looking to see if he can hunt down Kitlink. And El Magico and Astunik are close, and Astunik takes the little look but opts out in the end. As Porkchops picks up a 3 second time penalty. As we're now 3 laps into our 13 lap 25% French Grand Prix at the Paul Ricard circuit. We're on board with Astunik, as he finds himself going a little bit wide, and then that will have a little bit of gap separate between the Alfa Romeo and the Ferrari, both the Ferrari powered engines, that is, but I mean it doesn't really matter as all these cars are on equal. As right now, Best Pawns is our big mover with 10 positions. As we've got a nice little cluster here from 10th to 15th. As I've done this corner in the rain, and it is tough to stay on when you're trying to, because normally when it's dry, you can bust that thing going in 8th gear, but once you run into the rain, you really gotta be careful because you can find yourself going off very easily. There's a lot of these drivers are still feeling out the rain as Monkey Mafia gets a little too heavy on the gas and loses back some positions, or sorry, loses back some time. Gives back some time. Well, there we go. That's a proper way of saying it. What's wrong with OG Northern as he finds himself going wide. Unfortunately, will not be able to take a run at ZGS as Spaceman gets up his 10-second penalty. As he's having some trouble here. As OG Northern ended up getting a pass on ZGS on that long straight there. Monkey Mafia right on the tail of Pork Chops here. So we'll get on with Asnick on El Magico as he is coming on that long stretch, and we'll have a little bit of slipstream from El Magico. But it doesn't seem like he's got the room. And neither will the Best Pawns, and neither will Monkey Mafia. ZGS comes back at OG Northern as they're wheel-to-wheel in this straight. OG Northern seems to have the pace and will have the inside line. As with that, he kind of pushes ZGS off a little bit, but ZGS still keeps it clean and finds himself just tucked in behind. So we'll get back on with Asnick. This is a battle for 6th place between the two Ferrari-powered engines. As El Magico had a couple of decent finishes last week, and he's hoping to continue that. So he's right on board, and he will have Yolmir to deal with now, as Yolmir will have Best Pawns. Asnick has quite a bit of battery to use here as El Magico goes to the inside, leaving Asnick to the outside, as he won't be able to take a look. Takes a little bit of the curb though, as the Best Pawn does get the better of Yolmir there. He'll find himself right on the back of Asnick now, as Spaceman is off on the side of the track there. As the Best Pawns goes to the outside of the Asnick, as Asnick goes to defend the inside there. And now Asnick was trying to catch Magico there, but now he's going to have to really deal with the Best Pawns, as the Best Pawns are showing some pretty good pace here in the wets. Or in the intermediate, sorry, in the wet. On the intermediates, in the wet, there we go. As I say that, he rides the throttle a little too hard and finds himself Tokyo drifting around turn 9 there, but will still have some pretty good traction, but unfortunately not good enough, as Asnick still finds himself right in behind El Magico and not able to make up a position there, as he gets really tight, as El Magico is bringing this down to a crawl to get through this section here of turn 11 into 12. Unfortunately, that's just the tough part of racing in the rain, as this is really coming down now. As unfortunately, with it being the rain, you don't have that DRS. As Smokemon picks up a drive-through penalty for speeding on a virtual safety car. As we are on board with the Best Pawns, as he has a much better run on an Asnick, as he will take the inside line, and Asnick turns that back to the inside, but Best Pawns kind of closes that door rather quickly. He may have a shot to come back into turn 3 here, but unfortunately he won't have the pace. This may just be a glitch on my screen, but he does seem to have a lot of battery saved up here. that battery is kind of, that overtake, which is what everyone else has, is huge for the ability to manage it. It doesn't seem that Asnick will be able to keep up the best pawns, as now there's been a 1.5-second gap in between El Magico and the best pawns down for 6th place. As I guess we'll join on to the leaders here, as Kit Link and Mebe found themselves, or are still into 1st and 2nd, with Kit Link have a 2-second gap, as he had quite a disappointing finish last race with crashing out, or actually Mebe and Kit Link coming together and spinning each other out in the first lap of the first turn at Austria, and then Kit Link unfortunately not being able to make up enough ground to truly get some points. As to the feature race, I guess he finished 2, 4, 6, 7th, but then ended up crashing out in the scraps race. As unfortunately OG Northerner has gone off just after turn 10. As I said, in that area where you really got to be careful for how fast you can take that turn, as normally you can take it in 8th, but with the wet, it's really hard to push it, as the Suitman picks himself up a drive-through penalty for speeding under the virtual safety car. So both 4th and 3rd will have to take drive-through penalties, and if Eric can play this well, he should find himself into 3rd, as he needs to pit as well. As the only person to pit has been Asnick, as everyone may seem to try and, as Mebe picks up a drive-through penalty as well for speeding under the virtual safety car, which makes the race a lot easier for Kit Link if he's able to keep it clean here, as that is a lot of time missed, unfortunately. This Pork Chop is right on Kaz here for 6th place. Let's get back into the position change, as the best pawns has found himself launching up the table the most here, shooting from 19th, unfortunately not setting a time, into 8th for the racing point, as his teammate Yolmir is also in 6th. As we've lost Kit Link, unfortunately, as Kit Link goes off through turn 2. Give me back. There we go. As Pork Chops, is going right at Kaz. Let's see if I can jump on with air, as he's going to drive by the accident scene, as we'll get right back on with Pork Chops after that. But unfortunately the car has been taken out, so I can't exactly see where he hit on the wall, but it's somewhere it's to the right of us. As once again Kit Link will not pick up the points that driver's skill capability truly deserves, as there's some jumbling around here as drivers are opting to pit now. As with it being a race where you're using the intermediates, you don't... as Pork Chops runs out wide, and the best pawns collects up 6th place now. I don't believe you have to pit. At least I've done it where I didn't have to pit, where in prior races the 25% you have to use 2 different tire compounds. But unfortunately, as of right now, until the scraps race, the Red Bulls won't be picking up any points. So get on the best pawns. He's really moving today. The ZGS picks up himself a penalty. That's up to 13th position. Maybe now with fastest lap. No, he did have it before. There we go, the Pest Pawn seems to have Kaz as well now, as he will... Oh, lost it for like a half a second there, was able to collect it, as he is showing some really solid pace here. As now Kaz will have to deal with Pork Chops, as Pork Chops is within a second. We'll get on to the battle for 14th and 13th as well. He's coming into that long right-hander here. taking it very carefully as now they want to truly push their vehicle off track. As Asenik is truly struggling to find the chaining a couple corners together to really make up the ground into passing another driver here, as he was stuck behind as he opts for the pit as well. As we get on with pork chops, as he's back in behind Kaz. The best pawn seems to be driving away, as they are both on 8 old tires, and none of the top 10 have pitted yet in this race. As I say that, Mebe finds himself into the pit, as he has a massive 30-second gap between him and Smokemon, so this is virtually a free pit stop. Truly the next closest man to another race car. As we'll stay on with pork chops here, as you're normally used to seeing pork chops racing on that McLaren orange and blue, but today he has picked up the Mercedes black, I guess we can say, the Merc black, and is representing them in the F2 League, as he did step up and help us out collecting or being able to race with 19 guys here. As Yolmir finds himself going the outside of Monkey Mafia as he collects up a position. 4 back from where he initially started as Monkey Mafia. Yeah, I thought he was going to get a little bit slippery out there, but he ended up keeping that pretty solid. Still finds himself now, Monkey Mafia, Pork Chops takes the outside line on Kaz, and Kaz opts out and decides not to fight back, but Pork Chops does go wide. Kaz has will have this slipstream, see if he can take the inside here. Unfortunately, he doesn't have the pace. This Pork Chops collects up 6th position now with now a never-stretching gap between him and the best pawns for 5th. As the Suit Man now within a second of air. As there shouldn't be any more pit stops now. As the drivers who are still out there will take their tires for the rest of the race. There has been only a couple pit stops. As Static Hazard is making some real ground on El Magico here for 11th. So we'll get on board with that quickly. As he will have a decent bit of battery saved up, and seems to make up a little bit of ground on El Magico, but I don't think this corner will be the one. As he gets really wide to cut in through that chicane, as he finds himself tucked right behind Stat. I think Stat had a look, but he felt that he was going to come right back, as unfortunately Yolmir, as we were going through that, found himself off the track, and Monkey Mafia picking up a spot. As now he's going to find himself in 10th with a 3.5 second gap between him and El Magico, but he will have some very hot tires, which will not be ideal for the rain here. As the Suitman still right on the back of air, as he may be able to get a good run into this long stretch here. As he's using some overtaking, kind of gets a little too heavy on the gas quickly as he finds himself on the wet racing line, but still does have the pace to make up on air. But I don't think he will have the time to brake. As he gets right close on the back of him, as air gets a little slippery as well. The Suitman seems to have better traction here, but it doesn't look like he'll be able to truly take a run into this turn. Air, losing it almost a couple times here. Suitman just knocks on the back of him and finds himself losing a couple of seconds, valuable, or not seconds, but finds himself losing half a second here. As he's really over pushing here, as we're getting into our second last lap here, as Mebe has a very comfortable lead in first place. The Smokeman 15 seconds behind. Mebe is also on fresh tires. Smokeman has yet to pit, and I think I'm not sure if he's yet to serve his drive-through penalty, but I did see that he got one earlier. Stunek is in the pits once again. That gap between Suitman and Air seems to be floating here, as Suitman now is closing the gap a little bit and should be able to get right back up on him, going into that long stretch into the chicane of turn 8 and 9. ZGS picks up the penalty. Air going wide will help out Suitman here, as he is really pushing as well. Suitman just needs to keep the traction here. Still getting a little too heavy on the gas. Unfortunately, that doesn't look like he will have the pace. He's going to get close, but Air not even using his overtake and able to stay ahead. Suitman still with 1 lap left to truly get onto the podium for the Williams here. Static Hazard still finds himself behind El Magico for 12th to 11th place here, as Pork Chops picks up a 3-second penalty. With Kaz right behind him within a second back, that will drop Pork Chops into 6th. Mebe increasing his lead now is up to 10 seconds, or 10 seconds more than what it was last time I checked. With him nearly, as he has lap 2 racers here in Tim Lee and Astanek, and he won't be able to catch ZGS in the final bit here. But sorry, the Suitman ended up taking over Air there. This Static Hazard picks up a 3-second time penalty for really trying to push up on El Magico here. With Air have one last lap to get that podium position back, as this is the only true fight, as Air is over pushing a little bit, gets a little too heavy on the gas coming out of turn 2 there. Now being a full second behind. Kaz also picks up a 3-second time penalty, so now that it will help out Pork Chops huge. As Air is really pushing here, and unfortunately is too heavy on the gas, trying to keep up with the Suitman. Seems that Suitman will get himself a nice clean podium finish here. Cam now in 9th place, within a second of Monkey Mafia for 8th. Cam normally representing the yellow Renault, of the Tier 1 League, with unfortunately crashing out last night, which was an exciting race and deserved much better of a finish, but unfortunately we were provided a very exciting, I guess we were provided a very exciting finish, but we weren't provided the finish that we thought we were going to get, as Mebe comes over the line for first place and his second win of the year. We'll get Smokeman coming over, as now Suitman seems to be catching on Smokeman actually, but it won't have enough track to be able to catch him for second. Kaz trying to make up the ground to get himself into 6th place there. As Smokeman will come home in 2nd place in the Renault. Williams getting a podium. Air actually jumps up from Suitman, not being able to increase the gap enough, so Air will get the podium for the Mercedes, sorry. Best Pawns will find himself coming home in 4th, as that gap between him and Pork Chops is far too large for Pork Chops to jump up into 5th. As Air does get that, as I say again, sorry, Air does get that podium for Mercedes. Pork Chops, unless he does have another penalty that I did not catch, as yes, he will come home in 6th. Kaz in 7th, and Monkey Mafia jumps up massively from, I believe, 9th or 8th to 6th, as both him and Cam did not have penalties, and both find themselves leapfrogging, you can say, Pork Chops and Kaz, as ZGS for his first race of the year will find himself in 13th place for the Alpha Tauri. As the Best Pawns, I can agree with that. He he is the driver of the day. He really did have a good, solid race throughout. As we have a McLaren, Renault, and Mercedes podium. As Meeb, I'm just going to keep saying both every time so I can't be wrong, finds himself on the podium for the third time in 3 races now. As Smokemon will find himself also on the podium, as that is his second podium, as we near have a... Unfortunately, Static Hazard could not repeat the podium of last week for the feature races. He found himself way back in 12th with a crash. With today, Air coming home in 3rd, improving his last finish from 5th to 3rd for the feature race. Now we'll get into the scraps race after this all ends. But going through the DNFs for the day, we had Sabino Mira off the start, Spaceman and AlphaTauri, OG Northerner, and Kitlink, unfortunately, as both Red Bulls will not collect any points, which will be troublesome, to say the least. As now the Red Bulls will find themselves shooting down the standings, as that there's a lot of points that were up for grab, especially with Kitlink finding himself in first place for a majority of the race. Now he will find himself with no points, as will OG Northerner and the Red Bull. With it still being so early into the season, they should be able to have enough races left to make up the ground, but it's still something that you don't want to see, whether it being the first race or the last race of the year. You really hope to be collecting points every race, as consistency is the key, as we find that to be the case for the Series 1 or the Tier 1 league. But they will have their chance, and they will have a very high start here for the scraps race, as I think they'll both find themselves on the second row side by side, as we did have a couple of guys unfortunately leave this lobby, as we're gonna have to collect them back, with this being the scraps race is what I've been calling it. Actually, Stat came up with that name. I'll give it to him. He does some things pretty good. He did set up this whole league, so I'll give this to him too. The F2 was his whole idea, and his it's his baby. As you know what, Pork Chops, you know what, I don't work for you when it comes to this league, alright? You may run the whole kit and caboodle, but when it comes to Series 2, Tier 2 racing, I work for Stat, alright? And I'm all behind him. So, you know what, you can go have bad qualifyings for all I care. No, I take that back. Yeah, he does sign my check, so I'm just gonna be nice. I'm gonna be good. I'm gonna be good. But yeah, you know what? Have a good race there, Pork. You know, we're rooting for you, dude. But you know what? Hopefully we don't get any rain for this scraps race here. As it, you know what, the rain made it exciting, but unfortunately, with the unfortunate amount of the lack of DRS, it doesn't give as many passes as we'd like to. As a lot of drivers really, as you could see it there, they were really trying to over push, and wouldn't get the traction that they would normally get in a dry race. As Stat seems to be setting up the lobby here. As my computer's just doing crazy think. Uh-oh. Sorry, folks. I just go into another screen for a second there, but yeah, like I said, we are waiting for a couple to join back up here. as we did have some crashes. So we're just making sure that we got those drivers back, because I think we're trying to get Sabino Mira back in here. Okay guys, don't tell anyone, but I might try and sneak in for the race here. We are missing a guy, so, but I mean, maybe it can go to broadcaster points. Yeah. Let's see if I can. Should I sneak onto a Williams here? No, I shouldn't. I'm not going to. I'd like to. But the best Ponce, nice race there, dude. You had a solid rip around the track there. We're still waiting for this lobby to get set up here. So it seems we've lost Kit Link and Sabino Mira. So we're now missing we're missing 3 drivers from this lobby here. Yeah, I know. Suit man. I kind of want to go in this race, but I feel like if I did something that would halter people or would mess someone up and would take away points, then I shouldn't. But I'd like to. I don't want to throw stat or pork chop on the you know, I don't want to put them on the spot. Sorry. Okay, it seems like we're ready here. So our lobby should go into it. Not my series. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. Fair. I mean, screw it. This is stat series. He'll be mad for like a minute. All right, suit man, I'm coming. I don't think he noticed. Okay, we're gonna get right on board here. See what I can do here, guys. See, I'm filling in the seat that Williams did not unfortunately get today with not EMT. So I find myself being a reserve driver, as I find myself in the 5-lapper. Let's see what I can do here. Now I did have pizza and some cheesy bread earlier, so I got a little bit of greasy fingers here. But I am wiping them off, and I should be good. So thank you for tuning in again for this lovely Friday night, or Saturday morning if you're in Australia. As we'll see what I can do. I'm going to try and keep talking. Where am I on the grid? Oh no! Do I have one? Oh no, I don't. This is unfortunate. We'll just have to go regular here. Where am I? I'm in the back. Okay. Now I feel better about that. I'm not going to shoot the first corner. I might shoot the first corner. If I do, I'm going to go on the outside, but I'm really not going to get... I'm not going to end someone's race. I'm going to be very clean. I'm only going to take passes if they're absolute gifts. I'm not going to go wheel... I might go wheel to wheel someone. I always get a good start, though. Oh, not today. Oh, Jesus! Oh, what the hell happened there? Oh, Christ. Well, this won't be the race for me, guys. Okay, I'll get into spectator. I got what I deserved.
What happened? Let me know you're okay.
Give me the spectator menu. There we go. Okay. That just happened. Okay, back to where I belong. OG Northerner up in first. Suitman jumping up the order here. I'll get a little bit excited. I'm kind of disappointed here, not going to lie, but Astronix finds himself down into 6 as El Magico passes him as well. Well, the Northerner losing out to Tim Lee in the Alfa Romeo. Because with it still being early, you still have a chance. As he gets up on the curb a little bit. And now Stat comes into the party. OG Northerner ends up getting wheel to wheel here with Tim Lee. And does not end up giving him a racing line, and both Alfa Romeos go launching off the track there. Oh, that is quite unfortunate. As, yeah, Yolmir also into the pits, as with Mebe. El Magico seems to... I'm not sure if that was El Magico who did find himself. I think it was, but Tim Lee got absolutely sent for a trip. As now Stat picks up first place from OG Northerner. As OG has Suitman right on his butt to deal with here. As Suitman goes completely off track, but ends up getting the pass done. There's no DRS yet up until the next lap. OG Northerner comes back and goes to the outside with Suitman. We'll have that racing line. And OG Northerner will have to deal with Smokemon here. As now Smokemon will take the inside as he goes purple through Sector 2. As he ends up taking over third place as well. As we're still on the lead pack here, as El Magico will take a little bit of a look. OG Northerner cuts the line a little bit. Astonic now right on the back as El Magico is getting a little bit of connection lag as he's now right in front of Aaron, right behind Astonic as we still have this lead group pretty close. As El Magico takes a lunge to the inside of the last turn here, but unfortunately does not have the control to keep it up. As Stat seems to... Oh, sorry, as OG Northern ends up taking over third place once again from the Suitman. As now the Suitman's struggling for a little bit of grip. As the best Pawns overtakes Air. As Air finds himself now down into 8th, and we'll do a little switchback to the inside, which was a very nice move, but unfortunately was not able to make it completely stick in the end. As we're still fairly tight here. As OG Northern will be the only one out of this whole little row here that without DRS, so he'll find himself dropping 2 spaces, it looks. Oh shoot, there we go. No, he ends up finding himself dropping 1 as he's wheel to wheel with Astonic now. As I think we had best Pawns go wide there. OG Northerner does taking the spot back. As he's wheel to wheel now with Astonic. As he turns in a little bit to Astonic, but Astonic picks up the spot and finds himself now into 4th place. Let me get my bearings here. There we go. I'm trying to get on that. Cam unfortunately goes wide and off. Now down in 10th place. Astonic now wheel to wheel with the Suitman. Does have DRS here. Really goes to the inside line. Suitman taking the outside, not giving up as he lunges out around Astonic. As Astonic goes to the outside, and the Suitman breaks away. Now we have 4 cars all jumbled in here as OG Northerner finds himself back in the party. As Air picks up 4 spots here. Oh, OG Northerner turns into the suit man and ends up spinning him out of this lead pack here as he will find himself back up into 3rd place. 5 seconds behind Stat, as I didn't catch, but Smokemon ended up catching Stat and taking over first. El Magico unfortunately out of out of battery power here. Will not be able to truly take a run. He does take a look at Asnick, but not enough room for him to stick it. As Air now right on the back of OG Northerner. Oh, seems OG Northerner's getting a little bit of connection issues, unfortunately, or is that me? That's someone. Still seems to be on the track. Maybe on my end here. Suitman picks up a position again. But Air will have DRS here. Coming down the straight into turn 1, but goes wide, trying to push. And then will create a gap in between him and OG Northerner as Asnick now surpasses Air for 4th place. Air not giving in. Still shooting inside line. Not going to the outside, giving plenty of room. El Magico got right tight on Asnick there, but it looks like he got spun a little bit. It seems that 1-2 is going to stay the same, but there's still plenty of room for movement here. As Asnick will have the inside line on Air. Air does not give in, though, as Air collects back 4th once again. As we're getting into this final sector here. 1-2 seems to be fairly set in stone. But 3rd place is still very much up for grabs between Asnick, Air, and El Magico seems to be too far out now. As Air is now right on the back of OG Northerner as he's looking for the outside line. OG somewhat pushes him off. Air keeps it clean here. There's now Air with the outside line. And OG going wheel to wheel. Air will find himself into 3rd place. OG with the DRS. As Air pulls off to the side and gives OG 3rd place, it seems. Suitman finds himself in 11th with the best pawns moving up. Porkchops in 11th as he moves up. As Suitman picked up quite a few penalties. Get on with the Ymir as he is on the final turn here. As this was somewhat of a confusing race, Ymir will find himself in 16th, collecting some points for the team. Tim Lee, unfortunately, after getting spun out there, will not have a chance after getting spun out, and unfortunately, I don't think he has a wing right now either. But Tim Lee will be collecting points for the Alfa Romeo today. As normally we see Tim Lee representing that Racing Point pink, which will soon be the Aston Martin green. Ooh. And there we have it. Oh, did we? There we go. Yeah, now it's over. Smokemon, driver of the day with a killer pose, might we add, as he finds himself on a double podium finish today. Similar to what Meeb did last race, where he found himself podium on both races. Smokemon does it here, where he goes 2nd in the feature race and then 1st in the scraps race. As OG Northerner picks up his 2nd podium of the year, for now, in the scraps race. And Static Hazard with his 2nd podium of the year, as he collected 4th last scraps, but now picks himself up a 2nd place finish for the Haas. As we'll go down the line here, I don't even know. There I was. You guys saw I got screwed. I got screwed. Come on. But a great race indeed. A great day for the Renault Smokemon as he finds himself double podium, like I said, and will find himself collecting quite a few points here. Unfortunately, Meeb had some issues in the back of the pack and wasn't able to make it up as he went first in the first race of the day, but unfortunately wasn't able to collect a second podium as he did last week as well. But here we go. We got Smokemon, Static Hazard in second, OG Northerner in third, Asnick in fourth in the Ferrari. Fifth is El Magico, Monkey Mafia sixth, Air seventh, ZGS eighth, Best Ponth ninth, Kaz, Porkchop, Suitman, Cam, Spaceman, Meeb, Yolmir, Tim Lee, and no one down there. Don't worry about that. There we go. As we had an exciting race here today, I guess I could say races in France. I truly enjoyed it. Unfortunately, I was just by myself again, so I feel like I'm some sort of in a somewhat of a sane asylum. I'm just talking to myself in a way, but I know that we have viewers, and I'm very happy to talk to you guys, and that's why I do this stuff, to bring you what this exciting league is of the Midwest F1 League. I don't know if I want to get in anyone. Do you guys want anyone in? Honestly, that 5-lapper race. Yes, it was. These 5-lapper races are absolutely freaking crazy, and they're entertaining as all hell. It's just that that lead pack is just chaos. Unfortunately, we didn't have some. Kit Link did not have some good finishes today, as he decided he was not here for the scraps race, but did have a lead through that whole feature race there, but ended up crashing out and not being able to collect points again. As hopefully he will be back for next week. But we're about 10 minutes away from being an hour into this, as these Friday nights are shorter than our Thursday nights, but I don't want to end it so soon for you guys. I'm gonna get Stat in here, screw it. I don't care. Stat's my boy. You guys like him. We'll give it a second or two until Stat comes in here. Get out of this menu, as everyone else seems to be. Stat is indeed the man. He is the man of this racing league, or the F2 league, that is. You're the man of the lead. Let's create a badge. Actually, we don't have a badge for the Midwest F1 League. What's very Midwesty? I'm not from there, so what's what do you classify as Midwesty? Like an arch? Is an arch Midwesty? Any of this stuff? Is any of this stuff Midwesty? Is there an M? Picture of a flat landscape. Okay. Yeah, and lots of corn. Yeah, okay. Yeah, we got some pretty damn good corn where I'm from too here. Okay, so I can back that. I can back the corn where I'm from. Now it doesn't seem like there's a piece of corn, weirdly enough. No corn. You know, I'm thinking the arch kind of looks cool. We can work with that. Oh, you can't say that. You haven't had our corn. You can't. Yeah, no, you can't. You know what? Your corn may be better, but you can't be the ignorant in the fact that you're saying that your corn is automatically better than the corn that's out here. because we have some pretty damn good corn. Man, $1 a cob, soak it in butter. 1 loony for a cob of corn? Like, don't get me started. American corn, sir. Oh. Yeah, alright. Oh, Jesus Christ. Now, that chant is a good chant. We'll just leave it at that. There's no M's here. Do you guys see an M? Yeah, I never forget. I'll give you guys that for sure. Terrible. Yeah, the anniversary. That's awful. Was it 19 years ago? Am I wrong? First to the moon. Oh god. Don't make me post in the actual... Have you ever actually seen the stats of the space race? Like, look up how much the USSR actually beat you guys in so-called space race. You guys just touched the moon first. What's... Still working on a logo here. I'm stumped here, guys. I feel like the arch may not be the way to go. Yeah, and you're saying that the US has never sent in a dog or a monkey into space and left it there? Yeah. Yeah, right. Yeah, turn a blind eye when your country does it, but call out other countries. Yeah, I don't know. Stats... Let me get his... He says he's away. Oh, you know what? I don't know. Stat did say that he had some business to attend to right after this race, so I don't know if he's off to it right away. No. Because if you tried an Australian accent, it'd come off as racist. Where if I try an Australian accent, it'd come off as funny because you're American and I'm Canadian. There's a difference. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I am kidding. Well, I'll figure this out some other day. Tell me I'm wrong though. Fuck. Jumping Jesus. I guess we'll end it here. I was leaning back in my chair and I was just grooving for a bit here, but we're nearly at the hour mark. I can't get Stat in here. Unfortunately, he's your boy, he's my boy, he's everyone's boy, but not today. But with that being said, we have news. Oh. We do have news of the Series 3 League that is opening up on the Wednesdays. Unfortunately, I don't think I'll be taking as much part in that as I do on the Thursday and Friday nights. But it will be still up on the MidWestF1League channel, as I'm not the only person with access to that, thankfully, as now that will be hand the reins over to someone else. I may be here for the first one, but we'll have to see. We'll let you know more about that Series 3, as that will be... Huh? Oh. The Suitman's jumping up, eh? Okay, well there you go. Yes, back to the Series 3 quickly. We will be letting you know more about that as we know more about it. Plasterman, unfortunately, will be out for the Williams now, as the Suitman will be coming into filling his seat in the Williams, as now the Suitmen are picking up a very solid driving, which is going to make it a little harder on the Haas now to keep it close. We'll just check that quick. The constructors... with Haas being 9 points up on the Williams now, they're going to have a little bit of work cut out for them now to hold off Suitman for the rest of the year to stay not worst team in the league here. But unfortunately, it is what it is for the Haas, and they're going to have to fight to be not the last team into the triple digits mark here, as they're still on 68 and Williams is on 59. But I will post the stats and the results and everything onto the Twitter page, so please go follow that. That'd be great. The Twitter page is at F1_mid. That's at F1_mid. So if you could please follow us there, that'd be great. We can give all our schedules and all of our schedules and results and everything, our standings and whatnot, to get fed through there for the public to see. So please give us a follow there. That'd be much grateful. But I don't think that we will be starting the F3, the Series 3, this next week. I still think we need another week to fully get that set up. But once we do, like I said, we will let everyone know. But if not, we will 100% be here again Thursday. Where did I say we were Thursday? We are in Zandvoort. Yes, Zandvoort for the Tier 1 League. And next week for the Tier 2 League on Friday, we are in Italy at Monza, as the true F1 League was just there. So a couple of good, fun tracks coming up here for both the leagues. So hopefully we'll see some good, high-quality racing, as you are expected to see here at the Midwest F1 League. And I hope that everyone else enjoys the Friday evening that they have left. And I'm going to go enjoy mine, as I'm looking at a nice shiny bottle of something here that I'm going to go enjoy for my Friday night, and you go enjoy yours. And with that said, and with that being said, thank you for tuning in, and we will see you Thursday.